Hi, my name is Bennett from CTWB Couch Time with Bennett, and here today we have special guest Stephen Ranella, world-renowned hunter and author of Meat Eater Adventures from the Life of an American Hunter. So without further ado...
Thanks for having me. Thank you very much.
Great to have you here today. So Stephen, what was the most dangerous encounter you've ever had in the wilderness?
The most dangerous encounter I've had in the wilderness is probably when I was hunting for turkey in Arizona. And I was calling with my turkey call, and next thing I hear is this loud sigh over my shoulder. And I turned around, and there was an 8-foot black bear standing there. And I just slowly walked away and thanked the Lord he didn't do anything to me.
Jeez. Alright, Stephen, what was your favorite animal to hunt as a kid?
My favorite animal to hunt as a kid was probably squirrels. Me and my brothers would always go out in the woods across the street from our house, and we would go out with the .22 that my father gave us, and it was always a great time.
Stephen, who's your biggest inspiration to hunting?
My biggest inspiration to becoming a hunter is probably the early explorers of our country like Daniel Boone and Lewis and Clark, but the biggest is probably my father because he's taught me everything I know about hunting.
Interesting. Alright, what is your favorite type of wild game to eat?
That's a good one. My favorite type of wild game is probably squirrel, especially the way my mother used to prepare it. Nothing beats that.
Squirrel. I've heard fried squirrel brains are pretty delicious.
I've tried them a few times actually. My mom used to always make them.
So now, was hunting a big part of your childhood? Like, did all of your family members hunt?
Yeah, actually, pretty much every single person in my family hunted until about the time that I met my wife. She wasn't really into hunting as much. She grew up in the city, but she's starting to get used to it over the years. She's starting to taste the different meats, and she's getting into it. She likes it.
Yuppie. So maybe you ever questioned or had any doubts about being a hunter as a career?
Really, I haven't. I mean, I've been doing it since I've been a kid, and I really love getting to travel everywhere. And it's not just about hunting and fishing, it's about sightseeing and getting to meet new people and different cultures, and it's really just something that I love to do. And you know what they say, find something you love and do it until it kills you. And I'm going to be hunting until the day I die.
Who has recently been the biggest impact on your hunting career?
I'd have to say my brother Danny. He's always been there for me, but recently as I've been starting to write more books and started with my TV show Meat Eater, he's really assisted me in like financially and with my business, and he's also assisted me on many of my hunts. We went to Alaska to hunt Dall sheep together. We've been fishing together so many times, and he's really supportive throughout my whole career.
Cool. So do you ever foresee yourself retiring from hunting, or do you see it as a lifelong event?
I think I'm going to be hunting all my life. I mean, once a hunter, always a hunter. And it's also like a great family tradition. All my relatives have hunted, and my father and his father and his father, they've always hunted, so I'm definitely going to be hunting until the day I die, and I'm going to pass it on to my children, and hopefully they can continue to pass it on to their children.
So you want to keep the family tradition going?
Most
strong?
definitely, most definitely.
So what was the lowest point throughout your hunting career?
The lowest point throughout my career so far, I'd have to say, is when I was in college, and I took up like trapping and fur taking. And during that time, it really wasn't the best business, and fur prices were low, and it was hard to get money, and I had to lend some money from my father and my brother just to get some traps and to get the business going. But eventually, during the fur boom, I started to make more money, and it became a career path.
So that was the only job you relied on throughout college?
Yeah.
What is your greatest piece of advice for future hunters?
If I could give one piece of advice to future hunters, and to all you hunters out there, it would definitely be to surround yourself with experienced hunters and learn as much as you can and get involved with the industry as much as possible. Write articles, join jobs and archery businesses and gun shooting businesses, and really just involve yourself with as much as you can.
So just integrate yourself into the hunting community as much as possible.
Yeah, the more experience the better, and the more you get your name out there, the more opportunities you will be given.
What would you say is the most important aspect of hunting?
I'd say the most important aspect of hunting is to definitely know the rules and regulations, because they're often changing depending on your wildlife management unit. And the other biggest aspect is also to have top-notch gear and make sure it's all working. Often use it before you go out hunting, take a couple shots to make sure that no sights are messed up, and you always want to be accurate.
So a lot of prep work before the actual hunt.
Yes, there's a lot of prep work before the actual hunt.
So what states would you say have the best hunting?
In America,
Yeah.
probably Alaska, Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana. They're probably the top four. Not in any specific order.
Would you say you hunt in those states the most?
Yeah, most definitely. And also in Pennsylvania, there's a nice farm right off Coventryville Road, actually. I like going hunting there a lot.
If you could take one person on a hunting trip with you, who would it be?
If I could take one person out of anybody in the world, I would have to say Barack Obama.
Why?
Because he most definitely knows nothing about hunting, and I would definitely get a nice laugh out of that, seeing him trying to figure out how to shoot a gun or shoot a bow, and just trying to see him apply patience in the woods. It just would not work for him.
Where is the most exotic place that you've been fishing or hunting?
I'd have to say when me and my brother Danny traveled to Mexico in search of our first bonefish, and we did end up catching a few, and we cooked them up, and they were the worst tasting fish I have ever had. And I will fish for them again because it is quite an experience down there in Mexico, but I would never eat another bonefish in my life.
Right. The name doesn't sound too appetizing.
Oh no, it's very bony. Wait 1 second. Alright, what was that?
So, what would you say is the most sentimental hunting spot that you've ever hunted?
I'd have to say, like I said earlier, squirrel hunting. Me and my brothers, there was this area across the street from us, and this old man owned it, and he did not want us hunting there, so it was a little bit illegal, but we always had fun going there, and we probably created the best stories of my life, hunting squirrels on his property.
Little rebels.
And right when they would cross the road onto our side, we would bang them off too.
So now, is there anything you'd like to say to the audience or people watching?
Yeah, I'd say if you've never tried hunting, definitely get out there and try it. Find someone, a friend or a relative that has tried it before, and just get out in the woods and give it a try. It's really fun.
Thank you, Stephen Ranella.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us today, Stephen. And you can find his book, Meat Eater, Adventures from the Life of an American Hunter, on Amazon or from your local bookstore. I got mine from the Coventry Mall. And until next time, this has been Bennett Sigourney with CTWB, Couch Time with Bennett.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. All right, Stephen, well, thank you for joining me today.
Well, thanks for having me,
Look
Bennett.
forward to talking to you again.
Of course.
All week long, it's a farming town. They're making money.
And I partook, I messed up. We'll cut that out because that was good right before that question. We're going to cut it out. And the other biggest piece, no, I'm talking advice. What am I doing?
So what is the most exotic hunting...
He said-